In this video, I really want to do kind of a wrap up, all of the news around Fallout 76 over the past couple of days, but also some of the stuff to look ahead at. There's a new update on the way to the game, we heard private servers are coming, and actually some pretty big revelations around Wastelanders. So I want to talk about all of that and some more in this video, but also a quick disclaimer, some of you guys might be curious or asking about the Outer Worlds. Earlier today, the reviews for the game have gone up, although for content creators like myself, the embargo lifts tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So tomorrow should be a very busy day on this channel. But either way, looking now at Fallout 76, Bethesda did recently announce that an update for the game is coming, and specifically coming tomorrow. This being dubbed Patch 14, and we honestly don't know a ton about this one, which is particularly interesting. One statistic of note is this will be the first patch in over 40 days for this game, which is one of the longest streaks we've seen without anything getting updated. As far as what's actually getting added, a little while ago Bethesda laid out a long list of various things that are coming to the game. They had some various times and dates associated with them. Social menu fixes were mentioned as being something that could come this year. The social menus had a ton of issues with accepting people, joining teams, adding friends, so seeing that resolved in a series of updates definitely would be helpful, and this could be one of them. With this update, we were supposed to initially actually get kind of a big breakdown of all the things that we're going to get added with this patch. That's something they've done a lot with their Inside the Vault series of articles in the past, and in fact at the end of the article that did come out 2 weeks ago, they did mention how we're excited to get our next update into your hands. Join us again next week for a few highlights from the upcoming patch and the final progress update for Project Clean Appalachia. So that was 2 weeks ago. The article that followed this was actually the big one announcing the delay of Wastelanders and how things like private servers and atomic shop changes would be on the way. So naturally, we never actually got that breakdown as to what was coming with patch 14. But one of the interesting aspects about this was, does this mean that even a week before release, a decent chunk of the people at Bethesda didn't realize that Wastelanders would be delayed? Obviously, that was likely a decision made at the very top of the development management, but just 1 week before the official announcement, they're here seemingly suggesting that they're not going to be talking about that. In fact, they're going to be talking about something totally separate. So could this have been a fairly last minute decision, like Bethesda testing certain things and just realizing it wasn't going to come together in time? This doesn't carry huge implications one way or another, but it definitely is some interesting food for thought. Although the other thing that is coming with tomorrow's update is private servers. This technically wasn't explicitly confirmed per se, but private servers are coming this week, an update is coming tomorrow, so those dots kind of naturally connect themselves. We really still don't know much about these. With the original announcement, Bethesda did say that more information on the service would be available in the coming days. I guess by that they just meant the patch notes or whatever news we get around tomorrow's update. There's been some rumors that apparently these will cost $15, but also come with other benefits outside of the server themselves, potentially only allowing 7 people in total though. Those are all rumors and should be taken with a grain of salt, and frankly, we should know all of these answers in a little under 24 hours now. Bethesda announced the Fallout 76 servers will be taken down for maintenance at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and typically it's then that they actually post the patch notes and we'll get the full reveal on this. I'm planning to cover this to the best of my ability, but again, the embargo for the Outer Worlds lifts tomorrow, and I'm planning a live stream on that game, so I'll see how we fit this all together. But either tomorrow or the next day, I'll have a full video and probably a live stream with some of you trying out this new service. With this update, seeing how it has been so long, there is the potential for some surprise additions to the game. There's a lot of stuff that is promised, that is on the way, that we just don't know now when it's coming. All the ETAs or suggested dates for releases were before the Wastelanders delay, so we don't know how that'll affect certain things. Maybe some of the stuff that was being developed behind the scenes that was initially planned to go live with Wastelanders will now come tomorrow as kind of a surprise. But of course, there also is the possibility tomorrow is just a balance change and bug fix update, with the private servers being really the only new content. New content that we are getting is the Halloween event Mischief Night. This is going live next week on October 29th, and it will run until November 5th, so a little bit after Halloween. Considering we're getting a long-awaited big update this week, it's unlikely we'll see another update next week. It'll likely just be one of those things where they figuratively flip the switch and make the event active, but that also would suggest we'll probably get a preview of some of the prizes tomorrow with this latest update, as that stuff can be data mined. But speaking of new content, last week Bethesda announcing the delay of Wastelanders also shared a bunch of images changes from that DLC. So something I missed initially, and I think a lot of other people did also, was actually this character. It seemed like this would be one of the NPC taverns in Appalachia with this update, and I assumed initially that was just one of the patrons that was at this tavern. But that is actually Bobby No-Nos from Fallout 4 located in Goodneighbor, or at the very least it is a clone of Bobby No-Nos. So this is significant in a variety of ways. First and foremost, it seems to suggest that ghouls are coming to Fallout 76. We have feral ghouls that you can attack, but we don't actually have any passive, just NPC ghouls. But obviously this person looks very similar to Bobby No-Nos from Fallout 4. Fallout 76 takes place 100 and change years before Fallout 4, so it is plausible this actually is Bobby No-Nos, and if it isn't, it's kind of a weird tease. Obviously there's so many similarities here. Both of them are ghouls, and considering there's literally no other regular ghouls in Fallout 76, that is significant, but then similar hair and an almost identical outfit, maybe it just is a coincidence, but it certainly is something interesting nonetheless. One of the other things we've been seeing over the past few days is quite a bit of community pushback around some of the recent claims by Bethesda. Recently they described how one of the major reasons they brought utility items to Fallout 76 was the community requests and desire for them, explicitly saying, "We heard from many of you who wanted items with some real utility." And although they don't explicitly say it in this section, it basically suggests that we'll see more of this in the future. And I think for me and a lot of other people, this was kind of a what? I don't know what forums or where they are getting this information, but I don't think there is a huge demand for microtransaction based utility items. There's been a lot of requests for utility items in general, like a refrigerator in game, but not for that to cost money. And you've basically seen that response from the community. I don't think this will lead to any changes in Bethesda's microtransaction plans, but it definitely is something interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a greater pushback as some of these changes start to go live or are implemented. Which, speaking of, one of the other issues that's kind of funny that happened in game with one such utility item, the Collectron Station basically gives you this little Protectron that will explore the surrounding area and pick up junk. It seems like there's an issue right now where after logging off, it won't actually despawn the Protectron despite the station going away with your camp. As such, now in game, just wandering around, sometimes you'll find groups of these abandoned Protectrons just wandering. They don't have any stations to return to, you can't really interact with them in any way. It's a very harmless glitch, something that I personally just found to be kind of funny, and you'll probably just run into one of these guys if you still play this game regularly. Although fortunately Bethesda is aware of this and is planning a fix at some point. But otherwise, yeah, that is a look at the near future of Fallout 76. I'm pretty curious about this update tomorrow and private servers. We really don't know a ton about how these will work. Is it just a small private world to invite a few friends that otherwise mimics a regular world? Can you change some game rules? Can I set a survival mode on that server? How many friends can I invite? There's a lot of questions that we will get answered tomorrow. And of course, one of the biggest for many, how much do they cost? As always, again, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, but with that, I hope to see you all next time. Later.